In 2015, the diesel was no longer going to be an option for our buses. We took some time and evaluated all the different options between propane, natural gas. At the conclusion of that, we decided that propane was the fuel we wanted to use. We ended up saving about 35% on our fuel costs by switching to propane. The cost of the propane fuel is so much less that it ends up being a net positive. The environmental aspect of it is also great. The fact that it's less polluting. The fact that it's also 97% American made is also great. So there's lots of side benefits, but being the government, our focus is always on how to provide service to the people as cheap as possible. And when you can save 35% and not do a whole lot different, you kind of, at least in my opinion, you should make that decision because you want to save money. We built our fueling facility to have, 80, 90 buses running on propane. And so our fueling facility is a 30,000 gallon tank with multiple dispensers. As far as having it installed, it's a shockingly simple thing. There are much fewer regulations about it because it's a pressurized gas. I think all of us were a little surprised at the lack of complexity of the components. There's a tank, a pump, and a nozzle, basically. There just isn't a lot to it. It's just a regular gas pump. You hook it on, you push, you pull the trigger and it pumps. We have 87 buses that run on propane. We save 4.6 million pounds of CO2 a year. We're in the Cleveland area where it's cold. Diesel engines struggle to heat up sometimes, and so they don't always provide enough heat in the passenger compartment for the customers. Propane and gasoline, get much warmer, and so the bus is able to be warmer inside. And actually, that was probably one of the biggest benefits that our drivers commented on, was that they felt like they weren't cold anymore. And so they actually started fighting for the propane buses because they wanted the better heat from the bus. I love propane buses. The number one reason is they save the taxpayers 35%. And we don't have to compromise on quality, safety, performance, or anything. It's just a straight up 35% savings, which is not an easy thing to do.